Has started. I think we are live on YouTube, and I'll start the recording to the cloud as well, guys. So here we go. Okay, so this is OET Writing Week. I am back. I believe Paul has basically introduced George Gale to the class, and you guys have created a plan. So in this class, we're going to review introduction paragraphs. I've received at least 20 to 30 introduction paragraphs. And we'll be just grading them and giving advice. I also always say in these sessions, feel free to put your microphone on and ask questions. If I say something too quickly or something, if I'm going too fast with a point, you can feel free to stop me and ask me to explain in a bit more detail. Okay. First thing though, guys, is can everyone just tell me, can you all see my screen here? The Word document.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so the plan is basically review yesterday. You guys can teach me about George Gale. I want you guys to summarize the situation. Then I'll be looking at your instructions. And then obviously at the end of the class, we'll talk about the next assignment. Of course, the next assignment will be to write Hussein, Bridget, Kaniz. What are we doing for tomorrow? Write the
Timeline.
Yeah, the timeline. I'm just going to put the second paragraph, right? But yeah, I think it's a timeline, isn't it? Okay, so that will be homework for tomorrow, guys. And I'll actually show you an example today. So you can kind of look at an example and maybe sort of try and aim for that. All right, guys, one final thing. If my connection or anything is a little bit strange, please let me know and I'll turn the camera off. Okay. All right. So George Gale, let me ask someone here, maybe Afra or Maddie. Is he young or old, George Gale?
He's 85 years old.
So he's young, right? That's young. Because he's very old. And what happened to him, Afra? Tell us.
He had a fall due to UTI.
Now, I wanted to ask you guys about this. Okay, so Afra, he had a fall due to a UTI. Is that 100% certain?
No, it's possibility.
Possible.
How do we know it's only a possibility, Tatiana? Go on.
Question mark. We don't know. Is this cause the fall or maybe?
Exactly. Now, Tatiana, should I write this? He had a fall due to a UTI. Is that good?
A possible, but no, we don't know.
Yeah, we can't say due to. I think a few of you have done that in your introduction paragraphs. We have to say due to a possible. No, well, we know it's a UTI, definitely, Tatiana, right? So we can't say possible.
He was diagnosed with this on admission, but we don't know if this UTI caused his fall.
Exactly. So the word has to go here, not before UTI. Does anyone know? Open mic. What goes before here? Due to here. Come on. Yeah, possibly, right? That would be one way of doing it, right? So what type of word is that, Tatiana, with ly? What do we call it? Adverb. Yeah, right. So we would use the adverb here to describe the due to, right? That's modifying that to explain that this cause is only possible. All right. So this is the first point I think we should start with. But let's zoom out a little bit. Let me ask Rabia and Kanchan. Can you say hello?
Hello. Hello.
What type of letter is this today?
Discharge letter.
Yeah, it's a discharge, isn't it? Fantastic. And I always say, who are we writing to? Kanchan?
We're writing to the head nurse of Primorse Nursing Home, and it's Miss Gold.
Good. Now, this is a question for everyone. Do they know the patient or not?
No, they don't know.
No.
Don't do it. So Alina, this is important, isn't it? Because if they did know the patient, then what does it mean, Alina? Just Alina, please, or Hatis? If they do know the patient, then we don't need
the medical history and the social background.
Right? That's if they do know the patient, right? So you would actually not include all of this, right? But in this case, they don't know the patient, right? So you actually do need this. You need all this information, I guess, right? He's not known. Very, very important point. Okay, so letter type is discharge. We're writing to Miss Gold. She's a head nurse at a Primrose nursing home, but they don't know the patient. Is there anything else you guys want to sort of teach me about this? What did you discuss with Paul yesterday? He gave me like an overview, but was there any interesting points for you? Put your microphone on and tell me if you want to discuss anything here.
Hello, just
Hey,
a
please.
quick, yes, I'm little bit confused about is this a discharge letter? We know this is discharge, but at the same time we are referring this patient to nursing home. So what is better that we can write in introduction that we are referring our patient to your nursing home after discharge, or we simply justify that this is only a discharge letter?
Yeah, well, it's a very good point. And to be honest, Kenise, this is why I always say, if you saw my class 2 weeks ago, it's better not to think about letter types, right? Because even though it says letter discharge here, you're right. In a way, you could think of it as a referral as well, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, is the answer. You could say, I'm referring him to you. You can say that. Or even transfer. It's fine, so long as we're thinking about the reader. What is the reader going to do? And we have to be accurate with this. Okay. So the language you use, I don't think it matters too much so long as it fits, right? This situation. And that's a general point for all of you guys. Try not to think too much about transfer letter, discharge, referral, because there's too many. What was I saying last time? There are no templates. What does that mean? There are no templates in OET writing. What does that mean, guys? Anyone here? Maybe Petruta, editor? No what's a template?
Samples.
It
Notes.
has guidance how to
Short
write
notes,
it.
samples.
It's kind of like
There's no format.
yeah, format or pattern, right? Or format. I can't say to you, oh, every single time you do a discharge letter, you always do this, always timeline, always background. It doesn't, it's not like that, right? You don't know what situation you will face. So all we teach really is the sandwich idea: introduction, first paragraph, requests, last paragraph. Everything else is your responsibility. You have to figure it out yourself. That is the test. Okay. All right. So last open mic. Does anyone else want to ask anything else here before we look at Paul's plan? We all good? I think this is not too bad, these case notes. What do you guys think? I've seen much worse than this. These are okay, aren't they?
Yes.
Right? You can do this. You can do a very good letter with this. Okay, so how many paragraphs did you guys agree with Paul yesterday when you planned? One paragraph in total. Sorry, Afra, sorry. Homework, yes. One for homework. Was it 5?
3.
3? Let's go and have a look. I think it was 5.
Timeline is little bit long, so we can divide it into means 1 extra paragraph.
Yeah, well, this is not 100% clear for me because I think he's saying some of this should be in the background, and he's also saying summarize here, right? Yeah. So it's not going to be that long. I know it looks big here, but actually it can be average size. Not short, Afra, but it shouldn't be. I'll show you an example at the end of class, okay? Anyway, so there's 5 paragraphs. I do like this. I totally agree with Paul here. Dividing background, medical and social background. Did you guys discuss why? Why did you decide to do that? Could anyone tell me here? Why not put these together? Tatiana, go on. Oh, who was speaking then? I thought that was Tatiana. Sorry. Who's just speaking then? Please. All right, I'm going to nominate then. Chevy, editor. Could I say hello to you guys? Or Alexandra, could you say hello as well? Come on, one of you guys, put your microphones on, please.
Hello, sir. This is Hussein.
Well, not you, Hussein, just the people I'm asking, if it's okay. I'll bring you in a second. Chevy, hello, editor, Petruta.
Hello.
Hey, okay, so why are we having 2 here? We could have 1, right? Why is it a good idea to split these into?
Just to separate things.
Editor? Go on.
Just to separate story we're talking,
So The answer is just to separate. Okay, I see what you're saying. Could you give us a bit more, Petruta? Why is it good to separate?
Because the patient he lives alone, and I think it's important to
make
let
it
the
more
reader
clear.
to know about this.
Okay, Alina, do you want to add something?
Yes, to make it more clear.
Yeah, it's just more clarity, isn't it? Yeah. Let me tell you a story. Oh, go on, Afra. Go on.
There is two background, medical and social.
Yeah, I'm saying, why is that good, right? So it's good for organization, right? And I'll tell you a quick story. I was talking to a teacher from SET, and she was saying we should break down paragraphing more, break it down as much as possible, okay? Because OET criteria, it seems to reward you for, you know what I mean, making things easier to read, right? So really, guys, you never really want to have a big paragraph. It's probably never a good idea. If you can divide it in two, anytime you can do that, do it, all right? Because it's easier for the reader. So you'll get more marks in conciseness and clarity, and also organization and layout.
Yeah, we won't do a lot of mistakes, like in a big paragraph, additional language, including a lot of kind of this stuff.
Exactly. Now, Alina, imagine you're in the exam, Alina. When's your exam?
I haven't booked it.
Tell me.
I had.
Okay, let's imagine, guys, you're in your exam and you have a very, very, very big request paragraph. Should we split it in two?
Yes, definitely.
Definitely, right? But the problem is to think about, how can I do that? I need to look for a division, right? Here we've divided medical and social, which is really great. In a request paragraph, how could you split a requests paragraph? Anyone?
Plano.
Go on, Maria.
Yeah, we can split like discharge plan, what the reader needs to do. Yeah.
So you could have the plan here, and then you could have, what could you have in the second request?
It's exactly the request. I mean, what we want from him to do exactly.
Okay, what the patient should do.
We can do that in one paragraph. We can add treatment and medication, and in other one we can add lifestyle, exercises, diet, and regarding this.
Well, in those examples, possibly, but it's that lifestyle sounding a bit like background. But yeah, you get the idea. I agree with that, right? The general point is, guys, don't have a big long paragraph. Always look for ways to divide that paragraph, even when it's the same. You know what I mean? These are both backgrounds. All right. So I love that Paul's done that. I totally agree with that. This is the plan we're working to. What homework did he set? Farzena, could you say hello? Or Osinachi, sorry. What was the homework, please? What was the assignment that Paul asked you to do?
Introduction paragraph, right?
Osinachi, no? You want to say hello? Osinachi?
Hi, Alan. Sorry.
Different.
I
See,
was distracted.
class. Okay, but you've got to answer, right? Okay, so Osinachi, the homework was to write the introduction paragraph, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now, guys, let me just remind you, okay? You're all in the class with me together. I know Paul has a different style to me, and, you know, he doesn't really nominate that much. But for me, it's important that everyone participates. If you cannot, just send me a message in the chat and say, I can't, I'm busy. All right. But otherwise, it's just like a normal class. Everyone has to participate. All right. So let's continue. This was the homework to write the introduction. Let me ask this question to Margarita or Hussein. Margil as well.
Yes, sir.
Hussein, what makes a good introduction paragraph?
I write to whom name of the patient, the age of the patient, and also to whom I'm going to write it down, and what is the more investigation or maybe assessment for her. I just write it down and send it to your emails about.
Okay, so that's quite a lot of things. So the name and does the age have to be in the introduction?
Sometimes it's need, sometimes it's no need, sir.
I think you probably don't really
Because
need
she was very old age and she was felt. That's why it was need to write down the age. So.
the thing about putting the age in the introduction, Hussein, is that the age is already here.
Yes.
Yes,
So
yes.
why are you going to repeat it here? It's a waste of time. Okay, so you don't. Yeah.
Just
What-
at the beginning, you're right.
Yeah. What makes a good one? What must we have? Anyone here?
The
What-
purpose must
Purpose,
be
yes.
clear.
Okay, purpose is clear. Now, let me ask someone this question. Amia, could you say hello, Amia? Or Maria?
Hello, sir.
Yes, hello.
In OET purpose, this means something very specific. What does it mean? Purpose.
Exactly why we are writing the letter.
Okay, tell me more. Who said that? Sorry, exactly why we are writing.
It's Maria.
Sorry, Maria. So exactly what I love this. So is why. Give me an example.
I'm writing regarding Mr. Green, who was admitted to our hospital due to a fall. He's ready to be discharged and now requires your temporary care.
Okay, so where's the purpose there, guys? She gave us an example. Where was the purpose? Anyone?
Temporary.
Temporary care, right? So that very last bit that Maria said, it must be clear in your introduction paragraph. If it's not, what will happen?
We will lose marks.
Yeah, Lena. Now, we don't know exactly how many marks, but we think that OET probably are very strict on this. If you look at the grading system, they're very strict. Okay, so I didn't really ask you guys, what is the purpose of this letter? Osinache, if you could come back, please, or Shahjahan, Jyothi, what's the purpose of the letter, please?
Hello.
Hello? Should we find it here? Where is it here? Where is the purpose? Like, what does the reader do?
In the discharge plan, nursing.
It's not.
Temporary care.
Can anyone here find it? What's the phrase?
Ready for discharge to nursing home for temporary care.
On the writing task, we can find it on the writing task.
Usually, you're right, guys. Usually it's here, but actually it's not here today. Right?
In the plan, it is the right.
The key is you guys are right. You guys are right. It's here, isn't it? Further care required and temporary care. Right? That's the purpose. Or at least we have to have further care, something like that in the introduction. Does everyone agree here?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do we need to say temporary care? I mean,
Yeah.
I suppose it would be better, wouldn't it, to say temporary?
Yes, I write temporary care and I was
That's
thinking
good.
maybe I should put further. But
Further is not so. I think temporary is probably. I mean, look, if you're saying care, and then later on in the letter you make it clear what you mean, that's okay. All right, but it would be better to include everything, I suppose. All right. Okay, so that's our purpose. Purpose must be clear in the letter. That's what OET say. All right. So let me put this here. What makes a good introduction paragraph? Purpose is clear. Temporary care. All right. What else makes a good introduction? Simple things, guys. Shahjahan, if you could say hello, or Mariella, could you say hello? Paula, one of the Paulas.
Hello.
What makes a good introduction? Like, how can I make sure that it's definitely a good paragraph? What do OET want?
who, where, why?
What you are writing to whom?
Mariella, yeah.
For the who is the person who's going to take care about the patient?
So talk about
The head nurse in this case.
Okay, so we don't need to. Are you saying we need to use their name, or sorry? What's your point there?
Who is the person that I write in? I have in my mind that yeah.
Dear nurse, or something like that, right? Or if you know the name, in this case, we know the name, so we would say, dear.
Yes, the head nurse.
That's okay, but that's not actually part of the introduction, right? But you're definitely right. We need to have that in. Okay, it's important to get this right. This would be the salutation. Okay, come on, guys. I'm thinking much more simple.
We have to use the name of the patient. Name of the patient. Name of the patient.
Okay, name of patient. I totally agree. Jyothi, what else? What else do we need? Name of patient's important. Name of reader's important. Good. What else? What's the paragraph going to be like?
General medical context.
Yeah, give the general. I mean, Paul says this himself, right, in his thing. Give the context.
Yeah.
Why you are writing?
Yeah, give some context. Explain situation, right?
Briefly.
Briefly, exactly. Now, that's my point. Who said that?
Tatiana.
Tatiana. So this is what I was hoping one of you guys would say, right? Brief. What does brief mean?
Summarize.
Summarize.
Yeah, it must be summarized. It must be short, right? Not too much detail. Okay, and I know that Paul agrees with me on this. We've spoken about this many times. Not too much detail here. Why, Tatiana? Why is it bad to put a lot of detail in your introduction?
Later we will expand this in timeline.
Yeah, later on we're gonna say give all the details, right?
Mm-hmm.
The job of an introduction is just to make sure that the purpose is clear. Okay, yeah. So temporary care, and to explain the situation a little bit, not too much, right? And just to be short, not too much detail. Save the detail for later. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for today. When I look at your paragraphs, I'm looking for these three things. And salutation as well. It should say, dear, I think is it Miss Gold? Any questions from you guys before I look at your work? Is this clear what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yes, it is.
Good. Okay, good. I'd like to, I'm going to start then. And as I said, you're all welcome to put your microphones on and to ask me questions now. Okay. This is live interactive class. If you disagree with something here, even though it might make me, it might be a difficulty for me, please put your microphone on and say, well, Alan, what about this? Or have you considered this? Very often sometimes we might miss something. So if you see an error that I haven't mentioned, put your microphone on and tell me, okay? So here's all the submissions, guys. We're going to look at all of these today, I hope. The paragraphs are short, so we should be able to do most of them, okay? As usual, what happens is I read, and then when I stop, you guys tell me what the problem is. All right, I might nominate specific people, or it might be everyone. It depends. Let's start with everyone together, okay? I'm going to read. When I stop, you tell me the problem, okay? So 15th of May, 2021, Miss Jane Gould, head nurse, Primrose Nursing Home, 3 Blackwood Street. I'm going to stop. What's wrong?
I will put the number and the street name under the name of the nursing home and the whole town under the street. Yeah.
Just a small thing, Maria, but I totally agree with you, okay? So then we have Dear Miss Gold, okay, regarding Mr. George Gale, date of birth, 24th April 1936.
And no commas, I think.
Ah, do you think we need some commas here?
No. Where we have the description of the street and.
Ah, yeah. We can. People often ask me, "What about the commas for the address?" The rule is you can have commas. You can have commas here, all right, or not. It's your choice. Okay, but you don't ever put a comma here, and you don't ever put a comma here. Right, that's always wrong. But in the address itself is totally fine if you want to do that, okay? Not on the last one, though. So we never put it here, okay? This is just small things.
So what about if we don't put at all?
It's totally fine, yeah.
Okay.
So save yourself 0.5 seconds or something and don't do it. Okay, so I'm writing regarding Mr. George Gale. Now I'm going to stop here. Amir, can I ask you to put your microphone on, Amir? Or Afra, one of you two?
Hi.
Hey, Afra. And Amir, are you there, sir? Come on.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay. What do you think?
Mr. Gale, not George Gale.
Yeah, we don't need to repeat the thing, do we? Right? Because we already have this here, right?
Mr. Gale.
We could even to make it shorter, right? That's very formal, just the full name. And here we have Mr. Gale. I think that's better. Okay, and you agree, Afra, presumably. Okay, so you two stay with me. Next one as well. who was admitted to our hospital on the 10th May 2021. Afra, Amir, what's wrong here?
On the 10th of May.
Something's wrong. Amir, can you see it? We need to remove a word here.
2021.
I was going to say now, can you just give them a chance? Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Okay, everyone, what's the problem?
We have to read
You guys all know. You guys all know, right? This is a strange one, Amir, right? I'll just talk to you, but probably many people are confused about this. When we speak, we say the 10th of May. That's speaking. That's correct. But when we write a letter,
Yes, sir.
we don't have that. I don't know why. It's a bit strange, but we remove both of those words. That's the style, all right? So, who was admitted to our hospital on the 10th of May 2021, right? I'm saying it, but I'm not writing it. Due to a recent fall, he is now ready to be discharged and requires temporary care from your facility. Is the purpose clear here, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We're just looking for that. That's good. Is this too much information?
No.
No, it's good. Great.
Not too bad. I think I've seen Paul in the past say that he doesn't want to see any dates. So probably you could even just say recently, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter.
Alan,
This is a nice example to start with. Yes, question.
the question is, what I have is, I'm a bit confused with this do you too. So do you too, we usually, putting on when we have chronic condition or something, but for the fall, for example, is an unexpected thing happened. Is it okay to put do you too?
Yeah, well, first, the pronunciation is due to.
Due to.
So like this, like that, yeah. And it is actually, due to can be used for anything unplanned.
Anything. Okay.
Anything, okay. And if it's planned, what do we use, guys?
For. It's for.
For.
So what kind of things are usually planned in OET? We have
Test, checks,
Say that again.
test.
Surgery.
Surgery. What else is planned, guys? Physiotherapy, right? Any kind of treatment, I suppose, right? Could be planned. Those things we're always going to say, admitted to our hospital for. Right? But if it's anything unplanned, car crash, fall, anything at all, anything you don't want to plan at all, you can
after. For me, it's after a fall.
You can say after as well. To be honest, Tatiana, here we can use any results language at all we want, or any sequence language as well. We could say after. Following is okay.
Yeah.
We could also say, can anyone think of other results language, not due to something else?
Resulting.
No, can I say resulting? Resulting in?
No.
Because that's the other way around, isn't it? Right?
Oh, yeah.
But I can say as a
Result of.
Right? That would be okay. And then all of that language that Paul teaches is in the grammar, for results language. It's one of the most popular videos on the website. You can use almost anything. If you watch that video, you will understand a bit better. Okay, so who wrote this one? I just chose the very first one that was emailed to me. Whoever wrote this, it's very, very good, I think. Whoever you are, great start. Great start. Okay, let's try this next one, guys. All right, again, I'm going to read. When I stop, everyone, you can tell me the problem. Okay, so 15th of May, everyone. Problem?
Yeah, the off.
Off.
What are we going to do? Hussein, Bianca?
Omit off and
without off.
Yeah,
should we put the date in the
yes,
year?
that's
Yeah.
So 20.
2021.
Always put the year at the top, I think is important. Okay, Mrs. Jane Gould, head nurse, Primrose Nursing Home, 3 Blackwood Street. Alina, can you see it? Petruta, Anchor, can you see the problem?
Capital.
Yes, with
We need capital letter for the street.
Yeah, thank you, Alina.
street.
That's good. Old Town, is that the same address? Yeah.
Yeah.
Regarding Mr. George Gale, so we don't need a space here.
Not the space.
Doesn't really matter. 85 years old. Do I need a hyphen here or not, guys?
No.
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 Hyphen, no hyphen. I can explain that one later if you guys want. It gets a bit tricky, that, but
Please, because I'm very confused with that one.
just quickly, it's to do, if this is an adjective, then you use a hyphen and you don't pluralize the S. Okay, if it's an adjective. If it's
You
not
mean like a baby? 8 weeks baby?
Yeah, an
8-week baby.
An 8 week, let's say a 1 month old baby. Yeah, right. Smiled at me. Okay, so look, it's a bit more complicated than this, guys. I'm just making it very simple. But here, right, think about your subject, verb, object. Where's the subject of this sentence?
Baby.
Baby, right? So that's subject. Where's the verb?
Smart.
Right. And the object, everyone?
Me.
1 month.
Okay. So this is like an adjective now, isn't it? You know, we could write like a happy baby, right? It's an adjective. So if it's an adjective, we're going to put hyphens, you see, and now the blue line is gone. All right, so that's the general rule of why you use the hyphens. That make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll leave that on there as an example, and we can come back to that and go into a bit more detail if you want later. Let me start with this paragraph. I'm writing regarding Mr. Gale, who is being discharged today following his UTI resulting in a fall. Okay, Hussein or Hatis. Could you say hello, Hussein?
Hello, sir.
What's the problem here?
It is not important. It is not need to use UTI because we refer for
Yeah,
temporary care. There's no need just for fall. Yeah, that's.
What did we say, Hussein, about the UTI?
Possible UTI.
Remember what it said?
No, it was due to UTI. It was because it was.
Can anyone help Hussein? What does this mean?
It's possible. Possibly.
It's a possibility.
It's the possible cause. It's the possible cause. So we are not going to be accurate if we say 100% it is because of the fall. So Hussein, I like your point. You were saying just remove it, right?
Yeah, I was just
like that.
We can use it in background somewhere else in the.
Mention it later on.
Yeah, later on. That's what it is.
I think that would be better. If we wanted to keep it though, Bianca, just to test your grammar, could you say hello, Bianca?
Yeah.
How can I make this possible now? Where do I put possible?
Due to a possible UTI.
Tatiana, is that right? Remember we discussed this, Tatiana?
No. He had UTI and it possible fall.
Just Tatiana now, because we were discussing this before. Go on, Tatiana. Do you remember what we said?
Yeah, due to
possibility.
Possibility?
Possibility.
What type of word is it? Guys, just Tatiana, please. Okay.
Possibility.
Oh, possibility? No. Possibly. Okay. Tatiana, what type of word is that?
Adverb.
Adverb. Okay, so people are answering for you guys. Remember, let me ask this though to Amin. Can you say hello, or can you say hello, Kaniz?
Yes, hello.
What does an adverb do? What's the grammatical job of an adverb?
Modify the verb, main verb.
Which is the verb that it's modifying? I can help you. It is Kaniz?
Yes.
You too.
Right? So this is being changed. It's modified. This is describing this, right?
Yes.
If I say possible UTI, then it's describing the UTI, adjective describing UTI. But we know 100% it's a UTI. We just don't know 100%.
Possibly the cause of his fall.
You could say that, yeah, possibly the cause.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, but that would be a noun.
This one is a little bit confusing for me.
Yeah.
UTI resulting in fall.
We can put some examples on the board of good language here. 1 second,
Yes.
let's zoom out. So guys, things we can say are possibly the
cause of his fall.
and you might want to use a relative clause here as well. Following his admission, possibly the cause of his fall. Is that sentence right, guys, or wrong? Once I correct my spelling. Is that, what do you guys think? Correct or not correct?
Correct.
Don't we need something here now?
A.
After having
We need a relative clause.
Which?
Yeah, which.
Or
and then
that.
which is possibly the cause of his fall.
Yeah, sorry, it should be his fall, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that's one way you could do. You can just say possibly due to, right? These are two different ways to get this idea across. Does anyone else here have any other ways?
Can we use which is instead of cause, which is possible to? I'm sorry that I forgot.
That's okay. You could say which is. You could say which it is possible. That no, yeah, it's hard to do it really.
The cause of the fall, which is possible to be.
You could say, can I say which was?
We don't know.
No, we don't know.
Which
You
was.
could say was or is. Both of them are okay.
Yeah.
Let's leave it here. We have two examples, guys. You can say possibly due to, right? That's okay. Or you can say this other thing with a relative clause. Okay. We can come back to this language as well at the end if you guys want, if you remind me. All right. Let's just finish this sentence now. So following his admission, possibly due to, what do I need here? Mariella, what's going here? Chevy, editor, to
Article.
And full form. To
and yeah, right. And or a UTI, resulting in a fall.
We are not sure about
like we don't need resulting, which
resulted in a fall.
Yeah, and then we could say may have, right? Resulted. Wow. In a fall. It gets quite complicated here. Okay. Into your temporary care and management. So look, one of the difficulties with this paragraph is how many sentences are there, guys?
So we need to.
One here, right? And I always say this, look, you could have a 1 sentence introduction. That's probably good. But don't have only one sentence and try to put too much information in, right? Decide which you want to do. If you want to have a 1 sentence introduction, take some information out, right? Or just have 2 sentences. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult to read. You're going to make errors like this as well. Okay. Should we make this a bit more simple, guys? If it's going to be 1 sentence, it should be simple, right? So I'm writing regarding Mr. Gale, who's being discharged today following a fall. Okay. We don't need a comma here. Into your temporary care. We have another error here. What's wrong with
management? We don't need to put management because
we can't put management here actually. Why not? Why is this one wrong, guys? And management.
It is not mentioned.
Not mentioned.
In the case not.
It's not about management.
No, it's this. Look.
No, but he is still on medication.
Does that make sense though? Into your management?
No.
No, it's under your management, right? So the preposition is different. You cannot put them both.
Yes.
And anyway, we don't need this one, right? This is not in the case notes.
Into your facility.
So let's just keep it simple. I'm writing regarding Mr. Gale, who's being discharged today following a fall into your care, right? We don't even need this comma. If you want to do 1 sentence, keep it simple, right? No problem with 1 sentence, but keep it simple. Don't put too much information. Okay, any questions on this one? Did I miss any other errors here?
It's okay now.
Let's move forward because we've got so many to do. So here's another one, guys. All right. So again, I'm going to read when I stop. Actually, Hatis, can you say hello? We'll have Hatis and Alexandra and Petruta. Are you guys ready?
I can't speak today.
First of all,
Okay, no worries, Hatis. So just Petruta, please, and Alexandra. Could you say hello? And Maria.
Hello.
So just you tell me what's wrong here, okay? So regarding Mr. George Gale, DOB 24th of April 1936. Dear Miss Gould, I'm writing to refer Mr. Gale, who was hospitalized for a urinary tract infection after a fall.
Yes, we have the same.
Maria, go on.
Yes, we have the same problem with all the details put in the introduction, and we don't know exactly if it's urinary tract infection.
What did we say? Keep it short, not too much detail.
It's a short letter, not a refer letter.
And also, like Hussein, I know you're a doctor.
Yes,
I want to say this to any doctors watching, right? Doctors always ask me, Alan, should I put the diagnosis in the introduction? And I always say, yeah, if you want, it's okay, right? But do you need to put the diagnosis in?
No, I don't think
like, just keep it simple. Just choose one thing. It could be the diagnosis or the symptoms, right? It could be the cause, or just, you don't need to put lots and lots of things in. Only one, really just put one thing, I would say. Just a general advice, right? So we don't need UTI after a fall. Let's just make it simple. Which one do we need, guys?
Just
why was he hospitalized?
Why?
Right? Right? Will we put UTI in the letter? Yes.
Yes, we can mention that.
Yeah, no.
Later we can mention it.
Yeah,
and that's, remember, what do OET say about this, about expanding the purpose? Is that good or bad?
Good.
Let me show you, right? Let me just show you. Remind you all here. Oops. Do you guys ever look at the OET writing criteria? Does anyone ever just go and look at it? You should, all right? Here it is. It's available online. This is the OET writing criteria, okay? And this is, when we talk about purpose, we're talking about this here, okay? So it says here, purpose of the document is immediately clear or immediately apparent, okay? So with this sentence, we're talking about temporary what?
Care.
Temporary care, right? So if we write temporary care, then we can say, yes, the purpose of my document is immediately clear, right? But it also says, Hussein, sufficiently, could you read this?
Funded as required.
Under.
So expanded, what does that mean? To expand.
To expand.
More.
Bigger.
Bigger.
Right?
Extend.
For example, UTI. Right? When we mention the UTI later, we are expanding, right? We're expanding the purpose of the letter. So that's good. It's good not to have it in the introduction. Save it for later. Give more detail later. You are expanding the purpose. All right? Is that clear for you guys? Because that's the second one here. All right, so we don't need too much detail in the introduction. Coming back to this then. All right, so we're going to remove the UTI from here. Now he is ready to be discharged. What's wrong with now he is? It's a very, very small error. Alina, could you tell us, Paula, now he is?
He now is ready to be discharged.
Yeah, Tatiana. Okay, so you're going to come in. He now, right?
Now is ready.
I know that's unusual, guys, right? Probably that's not what you learned in school.
He now is, or he is now ready, sir.
Sorry, yeah, you're right. It's better to say he is now ready. You're right, sorry. Why do we put now here?
Because you're discharging now.
No, it's not. Normally, guys, if you're writing, say, a different type of thing, like not a letter, not a medical letter, you can say, now I want to eat.
Formal. No.
Perfect grammar. The grammar is perfect. No problem.
More formal.
Why in a medical letter do we put now here? It's just, guys.
Because we are talking about him. About.
It's a good try,
Like not ordering, yeah, not ordering.
No, it's just guys, it's just the style. It's just the style of this type of letter. It sounds a bit more formal, I suppose, in this context. Okay. Is style important?
Yes.
Is it a criteria, an OET?
Yes.
Style and layout.
Absolutely is, right? Look, you can see here, right? Let's move over. We can see genre and style. Okay. So to give you that kind of clinical, factual, appropriate kind of sound for the letter, it's better to put the now, I think, before, okay, in this location. So just try and get used to that, guys, okay? So he is now ready to be discharged and requires temporary care because lives alone. Can anyone tell me what's the grammar error here? Anyone? Hussein, Mariella?
Because
we need the pronoun.
He lives alone.
Yeah, he lives alone, right? So he's now ready to be discharged and requires temporary care because he lives alone, further assessment and monitoring.
It is
so long.
Yeah, it's too much detail here.
For
right?
temporary care, not for assessment and monitoring.
So again, guys, this is what I'm saying before, right? Why are you putting all the detail here? You can, it's okay, but you cannot expand your purpose later if you put everything at the start. Why don't we remove some stuff?
For the assessment and monitoring.
We can remove he lives alone.
He lives alone.
Yeah, we don't need this, right?
Further assessment and monitoring.
Yeah, for the assessment and monitoring.
Is that in the case notes?
No.
No.
So why not just say he's now ready to be discharged and requires temporary care? Much, much easier. Okay. In, you know, I know a lot of you probably have studied IELTS. Does anyone say yes? Put your microphone on and say yes if you've studied IELTS.
Yes, I did.
There you go. So look, in IELTS, it's different. You can, you know, that you should write longer sentences and bring in the detail. But that's good academic style. You know what I mean? Yes. But in OET, the criteria is much more focused on clarity, conciseness, organization. Okay, so definitely we don't need to have all this information here. Does anyone else see any other possible errors here?
I just told you before.
Yes,
Hussein first and then Maria. Hussein, go on.
It is not referral paper. It is just some kind of discharge letter. If you just
and he's not working refer, he's now ready to be discharged.
Yeah, that's why I think.
Well, refer doesn't always mean referral letter.
Yeah, it's not a big issue.
Right? The word refer is not a technical term.
Okay.
Right? It can be used in many situations. So here, what does it mean here? Was that Tatiana? Were you speaking then? Who was
I'm transferring this patient to you. I'm giving this patient to you.
It just means give.
Yeah.
Handing over. I mean, it's not very precise, so you don't need to worry too much about that. Okay, this is why.
But with the further assessment, then this was a big issue on the exam. If this, I think so, because
you mean like this?
Preparing this patient for assessment is not
totally, guys. Bringing in new words like monitoring, assessment, when that's not in the case notes, you're taking a big risk, because now OET can say, oh, the purpose is not clear. She's changed the purpose. It's not accurate. Okay. So I don't think we need to do this kind of thing. Don't bring in new ideas. All right. It might be okay, but it might not. And it's a very expensive exam, so don't take any risks. Any other problems with this? Any spelling issues anyone can see here?
With S instead of Z?
Yeah, is it wrong to write the Z?
It's American and British, I think.
Yeah.
So is it an error or not?
No, it's okay.
I don't think so.
It's totally okay. But if you're going to spell with the Z, guys, one time, what does that mean? Everywhere
every time, right?
Be consistent. If you're going to use American spelling, you must use American spelling every time. Otherwise, you will, it will be an error. Okay. Okay, so we have another example here. I'm going to jump forward. I hope that's okay, guys, because I want to try and do a few more before we have to stop. I wish I'd done a bit more today. Okay, so Miss Jane Gold, head nurse, Primrose Nursing Home. What's wrong here? Anyone? Editor?
Primrose and nursing home, same line.
It's the same thing, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. Do I need commas, guys? Yes or no? Commas?
No, not necessary.
It's not necessary, it's optional. Thank you. Margil, could you say hello? Margil, Shahjahan, Osinachi, could you say hello?
Yes.
Okay,
hello.
So you guys, you're going to tell me the next problem, okay? All right, so I'm writing regarding Mr. Gale. Here it is. What's the problem here?
No comma.
Yes, exactly, right. You always have a comma in this sentence. It's always a non-defining relative clause, okay? So I'm writing regarding Mr. Gale, who was admitted to our hospital following a fall at home and now is ready. Osinachi, now is ready?
He is now ready.
Now ready, okay? To be discharged and requires temporary care at your facility. Oh, so this is a one sentence, but I think it's not bad. What do you guys think?
Yes, it's very good.
It's good.
It is okay.
Yeah.
It's clear, isn't it? That's all we want.
Yes.
Clear. Is the purpose of the letter clear?
Yeah.
There it is.
Yes.
So that's all you really need to do in your letter. Save your energy, save your time for the other paragraphs in your letter. You don't need to do a lot in the introduction. You do need to do a lot of work in your timeline, in your background, in your request paragraph. But here, you just need to be clear, concise, short, all right? And just make sure the reader understands what they will do next, okay? So look, I'm going to stop there. And I'm going to say that it's now going to get, if you submitted any of this work, guys, this will be on the website tonight. And I will have corrections for every single submission, okay? So don't worry if you don't see it today. It will be on the website this evening, okay? But I just want to finish off by saying, what is the next thing we're doing? What are we doing next?
Timeline.
Now, I know this looks a little bit tricky, but it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Would you guys like to see an example?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll show you the example and then I'll delete the example and you will do something like that, okay?
We'll take a picture.
If you want, or you can watch the video again, but don't copy it, right? So look, here's an example. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Okay, so we have our introduction here, and then we have the timeline. On the 10th of May, 2021, having had a fall at home, Mr. Gale was brought to our hospital, okay? Upon admission, he was confused, disorientated, and feverish. Urinalysis revealed a UTI, which was a potential cause of his collapse. Potential, right? During hospitalization, as a result of a combination treatment, including amoxicillin, IV, and his regular medications, as well as closed observations, he has made a full recovery. Okay. Now, remember yesterday, guys, Paul was saying you should summarize. This is an example of summarizing here. Can you all see? It's not every single detail. We're putting together things to try and make, again, we want it to be easy for the reader to read. Okay. So there's an example. You can watch the video if you want to look at this again, but it will not be on the study document because you can try it. Okay. You have the case notes. You have the time. Write paragraph 2 of this letter and you can email it to me. Does everyone know my email address?
Yes, I know.
Very simple.
Yeah, Paul said.
ALAIN@set-english.com. Okay. So I'm going to finish there. Thank you very much, guys. Is there any questions before we just wrap up? All right. Great. I'll put the case notes on this video. So if you guys, if you want to look again at the case notes, just look below this video and you will see a copy of the case notes and also all of the corrections from today. All right, so I'm going to stop the recording now. But please don't go, because we have a lovely speaking session coming up. I'm just going to invite the doctors in as well. I think they're already here. Doctors, if you just joined us, Emal, Amanda as well is here. Hello, guys. You all right?
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hey, Emal.
Hello. Good morning.
Hey, Amanda. Hey, everyone. Emal, are you well, sir?
Yes, I'm well, thank you.
Fantastic. It's nice to have you here. And Amanda, I take it is it very sunny in Italy at the moment? Because it's really bad here.
It's the light that's shining, the big light. No, it's raining, and I've been in the garden in the rain gardening, and it's cold.
Amanda.
Well, Amanda, when do you? Hey, how do you say? When do you come back to the UK? Because we're going to be meeting you, right?
I know. So I arrive on Monday, the 19th, and hopefully there's no train strikes. Otherwise, who knows what will happen.
There are a lot of strikes, and also it is very, very cold. So you're going to have a quite a shock when you.
Yeah, my mum told me -7 in my mum and dad's town. Like, that's not nice.
I think it was the coldest it's been so far yesterday. I think it was -2.
Oh my gosh. Central heating in my mum's house. Yes.
Okay, anyway, guys, we're going to get started. This is Amanda, by the way. She is one of the SET teachers. If you don't know her, she does lots of speaking sessions. She's really good. And today she's going to be coming into the groups, chatting with you guys and giving you feedback. She gives mock tests, and I think you have little study groups as well. Is that right, Amanda?
Yeah, I've had a couple. Yeah, which is really, really good. Yeah.
Fantastic. So guys, if you are interested in studying with Amanda, just let us know. You can just contact me or Paul, or just let her know, okay? Now, I'm going to review what Paul did yesterday. Again, maybe you guys can I've checked with him, sort of his interpretation of everything. But maybe you guys can we'll review it together, and you tell me what you think. Ask me any questions you want, and then we're going to do a bit of practice today. So I'm going to get started. Does anyone have any questions before we get cracking? Okay, let's do this.